Congress and the judiciary. So, we remain committed to the idea of trying to discover regularities in the perplexing heterogeneity we encounter all around us. Experience tells us such irregularities can sometimes be found in the midst of seeming chaos if we go about the search systematically. That means the general beliefs and programs in our field, including some accepted propositions that seem so obvious as to need no investigation, should be subjected to rigorous empirical testing. Checking the obvious is often the way to make progress. We give lots of brownie points of originality. Maybe we need to give greater recognition and rewards to those who perform the tasks. Thomas Kuhn called normal science, even if they often merely conform the familiar. These two are essential contributions to the larger enterprise. It is possible and perhaps even probable that everything we discover will prove valid only for a relatively short time because our field is constantly evolving. In particular, its underlying premises change from generation to generation. In recent years, for instance, there has been a noticeable shift away from the traditional apparatus of the merit system and to a greater reliance on political loyalty as the criterion for appointment. Faith in the principle of career service, that is, in a lifetime commitment to working in government, have become less competitive, and incumbents tend to stay in office for decades, acquiring experience and expertise as great as that of a civil servant. Furthermore, a greater emphasis on contracting out and privatizing hitherto public service is altering the system. These trends could sharply change the relationships between civil servants and politicians. Conclusions reached in one era are likely to be inapplicable in the next. But you never know unless you try. Indeed, there is at least one thing we can already say with confidence: will endure. The low level of coordination among the components of the administrative establishment. In the future, as in the past, grand commissions will be set up from time to time to rationalize structures and procedures. So, I'll get it short in a few minutes. Sorry to pass our time. Some of them will score temporary, partial success, but the problem will persist because power in the government process is dispersed. There are consequently many different interests and values to be accommodated. As long as this remains the case, the tendency to fragmentation will remain strong. The administrative system is never going to function like a well-oiled machine. All of which means generations of political scientists interested in bureaucracy will have their work cut out for them as they strive to describe and appraise the administrative behavior of civil servants. The target keeps moving. I trust they'll go on tracking it, for I expect that bureaucrats will continue to play a major part in the governmental process. So, Professor Kaufman actually have a great point about the recent trend in public administration and the role of a political scientist, and also gives an insight about basic and structure and its practical consequence and phenomenology. We have many lessons from his concluding statement. Okay, thank you for your attention. That will be all for this class. Any question?
7월 수업 연관이에요.
언제? 다음 주 7일?
17일.
아, 17일?
이 시간.
이 시간? 휴가 아닌데. 우리 시험 준비해야 될까요? 시험 준비하는 거 하자.
다음 주 목요일 6시 시험이.
아, 그리고 시험 공부 따고 되니까 한 시간 휴강을 해야 될지도 모르겠네요. 휴강을 하면은 좀 시험 공부 열심히 할 수 있을 것 같아요. 예, 대신 그러면 주말에 꼭 내가 뭐 올린 거 이런 거 좀 한번 보고 또 리포트도 그러면 좀 준비하시고 휴강을 하고.